final lesson on Revelation for August the 30th. We're going to look at Revelation chapter 21, the beautiful description of what the future will be like. This is a day in television of reality shows. I'm not big into them myself. My wife likes a lot of them. One of the earlier of these reality shows was called the Extreme Makeover, where they would come and get the house and make it over in a beautiful way so the family could move in. And it was always amazing the kind of transformation they could bring. Well, those extreme makeovers, as great as they were absolutely nothing when compared to the extreme makeover that John talks about in the final passage in Revelation that we'll be looking at in Revelation chapter 21. He talks about the extreme makeover of our world, bringing the world to its conclusion, bringing the world back to what God intended in the beginning. It's a story, it's a picture, it's a vision of what God will do for us in the future. He might draw on some of these visions from some of the Old Testament prophets. For example, Isaiah 60, Isaiah 66, or Ezekiel chapter 40, verse 48. Some of those images work into this vision that John has here in Revelation chapter 21, verse 1, as he begins with the knowledge, with the statement, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth." Now, in the Greek, there are at least two words to translate new. One of them is the word neos, N-E-O-U-S, which simply means new in time. And another word which is kainos, K-A-I-N-O-S, which means a new kind of thing. It's kainos that is used here. In other words, he's not just talking about another city that compares to cities in the past. He's talking about a new city of a different kind, unlike any city before. I saw a new heaven and, he says, a new earth. He then goes on to say that there was still in verse 1, there was no longer any sea. Now, what does that mean? Scholars find references or suggest references to two or three things. Remember the picture of the throne back at the beginning? There was this sea of glass around it. I said that symbolized the fact that you couldn't approach the throne, the transcendence of God, the separation of God from us. Well, maybe John now is saying that sea of glass that separated us from the throne of God, it's gone. There is no more sea, and we can approach fearlessly, we can approach the very throne of God. Some other scholars suggest that he has in reference here his own condition. He is in exile on the Isle of Patmos. And on this Isle of exile, he is separated from all of the things that are important to him. His family, his friends, all of the things that are good in life. But in this vision, he describes a time where there will be no more sea to separate him on this island from the things that he wants most. A third suggestion connects this with the idea of the sea and the dangerous, strange animals that inhabit the sea. For example, Isaiah 27 verse 1 talks about a leviathan that is in the ocean. Job 26 verse 12 refers to that. Think Loch Ness Monster back in the ancient days. This is kind of the picture that is there. And perhaps what John is saying here is that with the removal of the sea, the removal of these animals, these creatures that are dangerous to us, have been taken away. Any of those ideas will fit. The point is the same. There is now